get an update over Mr. Paul O'Sullivan matter, I just want to bring it to your attention that like the committee decided, we wrote to Mr. Paul O'Sullivan advising him to appear before the committee this week. We should get an update on that during the presentations. And we have also agreed that the legal team will present an opinion on the Mr. Paul O'Sullivan's matter. It has circulated with us. Mr. Tejana will make that presentation. And we should also deal with the scheduling of witnesses. And I'm going to suggest that we take the first three items together because they talk to each other, the three of them. It will make our meeting easier. And maybe even on the scheduling, in our last meeting, we said the legal team should go and assess the statements of General Msikiri and General Sintumule. So they will, when they talk to the item on scheduling, they will also give us a report on the status of the two witnesses. And then we have correspondence from Mr. Honorable Mahlatsi, just to refresh the committee. When we dealt with the submissions that were made by Honorable Skosana and Honorable Sols, Honorable Mahlatsi had made a submission that there was one witness that he felt the committee may have to give him chance to come and present before it. And when the matter appeared before the committee decided that the information which was provided was insufficient. So that was brought to Mr. Honorable Mahlatsi's attention, and he tried to provide more details and motivation as to why that witness must be called by the committee. The committee will interact with that. And then we also have correspondence from representatives of Ms. Sarah Jane Trent regarding some of what they think are sensitive matters that were presented in our proceedings, and consideration of 7 sets of minutes. I have spoken to Mr. Bonani that we struggled last week with the flighting of the minutes. It took us long unnecessarily, and he assured me that today we will not have the problem that we had last week. It has been attended to. So those are the items, honorable members, on the agenda. Let me check with yourselves if there are any members who will want to add or subtract items from this agenda. I'm on the list of members. I'm not seeing any hand. I'm not seeing any microphone on. My assumption is that the members are agreeing that we must proceed with the agenda as it is. Okay, thank you so much. Honorable Sangoni, your hand is up.
No, it's fine. I was going to help you, Chair, move for the adoption of the agenda, but I think you've passed that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Mr. Tejana and Advocate Arens, can you please take us through the first 3 items?
Good morning again, Chairperson. Good morning to the honorable members and to my colleagues as well. Chairperson, I'm going to deal with the update on Mr. Paul O'Sullivan's matter. And my colleague, Ms. Telana Halistaki, will deliver the opinion on the matter. And of course, Advocate Norman Arens, SC, will take us through the witness schedule. Chairperson, you will recall that on Thursday, the 26th of February, 2026, and after Mr. O'Sullivan had walked out of the committee proceedings, without your permission and in violation of the rules of the National Assembly and the Powers and Privileges Act. You posed a question to committee members whether it is their wish for Mr. O'Sullivan to come back to the committee and complete his evidence. The committee resolved resoundingly that Mr. O'Sullivan must come back and conclude his evidence, and as he was still under examination when he walked out of the committee proceedings. We can confirm that on Friday, the 27th of February, 2026, we addressed correspondence to Mr. O'Sullivan inviting him to appear before this committee on Thursday, 5 March 2026, as he was still under examination when he decided to abandon committee proceedings without the permission of the chairperson. Chairperson, may I also add that Mr. O'Sullivan has been put to terms in that we have informed him to indicate to you his willingness to appear before the committee by no later than today at 12 midday. We can also confirm that in the event that Mr. O'Sullivan does not comply with the committee's invitation for him to appear before it, a summons has already been prepared in order to secure his attendance or his appearance. The summons procedure is provided for in Section 56A of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, read with Section 14(2)B of the Powers and Privileges Act. The Powers and Privileges Act requires that a summons must be issued by the Secretary to Parliament on the instructions of the chairperson of the committee concerned, acting in accordance with a resolution of the committee and with the concurrence of the Speaker of the National Assembly. Chairperson, you will recall that on Thursday, the 27th of February 2026, you had taken the committee into confidence by sharing details of a briefing we had with the Speaker of the National Assembly and which took place on the same day and at the Speaker's instance. All I can say is that the Speaker, as the issuing authority insofar as the summons procedure is concerned, is briefed in this regard. The Speaker indicated that she is at the service of the committee and will act as soon as she is formally briefed about what the committee has resolved in this regard. Chairperson, to this end, I can also confirm that a request for concurrence has been prepared for signature by both the chairperson of the committee and the Speaker, should Mr. O'Sullivan not comply with the committee's invitation. Chairperson, please allow me to rest. I thank you. Over to you, Ms. Halistaki.
Thank you, Mr. Tichana. Morning, Chairperson. Good morning, honorable members. I will take the committee through the legal opinion drafted by the Constitutional and Legal Services Office concerning the incident that took place on Thursday, 26 February, involving Mr. O'Sullivan, while being led by our junior counsel, Advocate Mkhize.